This video is sponsored by PokemonStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Whether you're looking for that last card to complete your online deck or just to get the latest booster packs in town, they literally have everything. You can use the coupon code ZAPDOSTCG to get 5% off your next order. Also, this video is sponsored by Cardmarket.com. Cardmarket is a European platform where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. I personally use it every single day, and you can use the referral name ZAPDOSTCG to help support the channel. This video is also sponsored by YourPlaymat.com. This is a website to create your own custom playmat from scratch. You can upload your own unique design or your favorite wallpaper and then turn it into a beautiful playmat. There's a link down below to get 10% off your next order. Last but certainly not least is DragonShield.com. There are links down below for people from the US and people from Europe where you're going to be able to buy sleeves, binders, and deck boxes. And of course, Dragon Shield is the best brand to protect your beautiful cards. I recommend them for every tournament, so definitely check out the links, and it's going to help out support the channel so much. So thanks for sticking around with the commercials, and let's get this video started already. Peace! Sup YouTube, it's ZAPDOSTCG here, and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. Today we're going to be counting down the top 10 best cards of 2022. 2022 has, of course, a lot of great things going for it. We got real life events back. We have, of course, sets like Brilliant Stars, which were very impactful to say the least. There was, of course, sets like the Pokemon Go mini set, which did impact the Worlds format quite a little bit. I went to a lot of tournaments throughout the year, and I saw a lot of you guys out there, so it was very, very nice to, of course, end this year with, of course, the top 10 best cards. This is also just my opinion based on the fact that I went to a lot of tournaments and I saw a lot of these cards being seeing a ridiculous amount of play because they were that good. We're also not going to be talking about the most expensive cards. This is a list based on how good a card was in the competitive scene. So with that being said, if your opinion is totally different than mine, that could be the case. Be sure to let me know about your top 10 down below in the comments section, and let's just get this adventure started. As mentioned, this year actually released 5 sets. We have Brilliant Stars, Astral Radiance, Pokemon Go mini set, there was Lost Origins, and then there's also the Silver Tempest set, which recently came out. So those were all the sets that were released, and today we're going to be counting down the top 10 best cards of the year. So hopefully you guys are excited. If you are, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button, and yeah, also if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to be posting a lot more content in 2023, and it's going to be even more legendary than ever before. So with that being said, number 10 is Manaphy. Yeah, who would have predicted that they were going to be able to print another bench blocker? This Manaphy saw a ridiculous amount of play just because, like, Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX still saw a huge amount of play during 2022, and we did, of course, need a bench protector, otherwise we were all losing regardless. So, and even now Manaphy sees play because of amazing rare Raikou and the Lugia decks and the Lost Zone box decks. There's even Radiant Greninja sniping damage here and there. Still a lot of snipe capabilities in the format, and that's why we need a bench protector. This is included recently in Lugia decks and Lost Zone box decks. They were even implemented in Inteleon decks to protect, of course, your tiny little Subble. So yeah, bench blocker. You all wanted one. Well, we saw a reprinted fella over here, and also as a little side note, I'm also not including Ultra Ball here because just exact reprints, for instance, like Ultra Balls that we gotten in previous formats, I'm not going to be including in this list. So now that you know that, let's go on to number 9, and number 9 is Double Turbo Energy. This is almost a reprint of Double Colress Energy, but not quite yet, because this is actually DTE, and it actually is Double Colress Energy, but the Pokemon that is attached to it actually the damage that you're doing is reduced by 20. So basically you have a little bit of a handicap with a card like this because you're dishing out less damage. Is that bad? Definitely not, because DTE saw a lot of play, definitely with builds like Arceus, which we're going to be seeing later down in the video. But this is basically a Double Colress Energy. It works for a lot of decks. Think about Zoro Toolbox decks, think about the Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR deck. There's a lot of decks that want to be utilizing the power of Double Colress Energy, and now we have it back with Double Turbo Energy, one of the most impactful cards for sure in my book. So standing here on the number 9 spot. Number 8 goes to Regigigas. That's right, the Regi believers are here. We saw a lot of players piloting this to great success, a lot of content creators as well, including myself. I actually got like 180 championship points with Regigigas alone, so that's the only deck I actually got points with in the 2022 year, because yeah, the last quarter for Worlds 2022 was a little bit detrimental to say the least, but we actually are going to be talking about it a little bit when talking about other cards. But Regigigas, I'm a fun user of one prize Pokemon, and this Ancient Wisdom, it actually was seen as a meme. I actually didn't rate it as high in my Astral Radiance tier list, but out of nowhere, this Regigigas proved everybody wrong, because it's actually easy to set up. You have Capture Energy, you have Quick Ball, you have Ultra Ball, set up your Regis on the bench, and if you have all of them assembled, you can use Ancient Wisdom, accelerating 3 energy cards, up to 3 energy cards from your discard pile to one of your Regis. So it's going to be fantastic. You could be using a whole plethora of attackers. There was, of course, Regirock to knock out Arceus. There was the Regis to slow down specific V Pokemon from attacking. You had, of course, the Regigigas itself slapping V Maxes in the face, but more importantly, the Regieleki, the lightning Pokemon that we all needed, because a lot of top tier cards that were released in 2022 were actually weak to lightning. So yeah, Regigigas, a very great deck still, and is going to remain strong until rotation. So Regigigas, such a fun memory here. This card, it was seen as a meme, but it's more than a meme. It is yeah, near to my heart. It's a fantastic deck for sure. So moving forward, number 7 goes to the one and only Radiant Greninja. I would have put this as the highest Radiant card out there, but there's still one more above Radiant Greninja. Not too shabby here, starting in on the number 7 spot, because it's been used in almost all decks out there. Radiant Greninja allows you to discard an energy card from the hand in order to draw 2 cards. We've seen before with trade of Zoroark GX back in the day that drawing cards is good, and of course, this can be reutilized with Scoop Up Net. So you can use concealed cards, scoop up Radiant Greninja, use concealed cards, scoop up. You know how it goes. You can draw like a whole heap of cards with this. We see a lot of decks utilizing the Radiant Greninja, like the Lost Zone box deck, so you can of course draw through their deck. There was of course the one and only Dialga deck, wants to be super turbo with tracking shoes and all that. Radiant Greninja is actually such a great card by itself, and even in Palkia, it was actually a formidable attacker with the Moonlight Shuriken, being able to slap 90 damage to 2 of the opponent's Pokemon. As mentioned, if we didn't have Manaphy, this card would even be more broken. But yeah, you're going to be able to KO double Subbles, you're going to be KOing Comfeys, you're going to be able to sped up damage so you can one-shot with Palkia VSTAR. This card literally has it all. A great attack, a great ability, nice HP, a low retreat cost. It's a great card. One of the best Radiant cards that we've gotten. So moving forward, number 6 goes to Lumineon V. Yeah. Let me tell you a story about Lumineon V. I know it's in the trainer toolkit and here and there, but the Lumineon sign, people thought it was going to be like, oh, this is Tapu Lele. You just slap it down, get any supporter from the deck. Well, that is true. But in this format, you're actually not able to use a supporter turn 1. So that means that Lumineon is less good, but on the other hand, Crobat is saying goodbye. So Crobat is getting rotated, and Lumineon already sees play in Lugia. Some Lugia decks even play 2 copies of Lumineon. Lost Zone boxes play Lumineon so they can grab their Colress Experiment or their Roxanne or their Raihan when the time is right. So searching a supporter from deck is good, and it's gonna even be better post-rotation. Like the top decks around, of course, a lot of them already play Lumineon, but it's gonna be even boosted up when, of course, Crobat leaves the format. So getting any supporter from the deck is great, and the Aqua Return is also super nice. You just slap damage, and you can put Lumineon and all cards attached to it back into your deck, so you can save energies, which is some of the strategies that Lugia players do against like control decks or something, to just save your energies. Also great in that mirror match. Okay, that was a very great card. I even tried to use Lumineon in, at the Liverpool Regionals 2022. I actually was able to play a Mew deck to like a 5-3-1 score, if I'm not mistaken. So I lost my win in them. Yeah, boohoo. But yeah, I played Mew with Lumineon. And the funny fact is, like, I played Lumineon because now we have 4 Sealstone and all that good stuff to be consistent. But I actually wanted to make a donking Mew deck, so I played 3 Meloetta, I played Lumineon, Alessa Sparkle, only 2 off. So you can just get that Alessa Sparkle going and boom, knock out Pokemon turn 1 going second. That was like the main goal of the deck. So you're gonna get some side stories here and there with these fantastic cards. Moving forward, number 5, Comfey. And I also would put the Colress Experiment in here and Mirage Gate, because it's like a package. It's all together, coming all together, because the Lost Zone is back. It actually was reintroduced with Lost Origin, and the cool thing is flower selecting lets you look at the top 2 cards of the deck. You can put 1 in the Lost Zone, 1 to the hand. And the cool thing is with the Lost Zone, there were very great attackers out there, like we had Cramorant, we had Sableye, and those were actually the core of a Lost Zone box. And now you can play whatever you want. You can be playing the Kyogre from Celebrations, you can be playing Amazing Rare Raikou, you can play Amazing Rare Rayquaza, you can play all different attackers in your deck because you had access to Mirage Gate. Snorlax was also a very formidable 1-price attacker, so you have the Comfey, you have the Colress experiment. The Lost Zone boxes were created with Lost Origin, and before that, Giratina actually did not make the list here because I actually wanted to put this into the Lost Zone category and I couldn't find enough spots for like more than 10, so I just have like Giratina also thrown into the Lost Zone archetype, because at one point Giratina was actually Giratina VSTAR, the #1 deck in the format, so it also is included here in this Lost Zone package. So number 5 goes out to all the Lost Zone box lovers in the world, all the cards that are working with the Comfey. Moving forward is going to be number 4. It is Radiant Charizard. Yeah, who would have thought that they would make a very playable competitive Charizard card? How long ago was that, right? So this Charizard, not only is it shiny and people are very fond of Charizard, they want to collect it all the time, but this one is super playable. With the Excited Heart, you're paying 1 card's energy less for every prize card the opponent has taken for the attack Combustion Blast. So it already slaps 250. In decks like Lugia, you can even just accelerate energies onto it without having to rely on the Excited Heart ability. But the Excited Heart ability is where it's at. There was, of course, Inteleon Radiant Charizard decks that were doing pretty well as a 1-price archetype. There was Lost Zone boxes relying on Radiant Charizard. Lugia relied on Radiant Charizard, so lots of love for this card. You can use Choice Belt to KO VSTAR Pokemon to hit that magical 280 number. And yeah, in the late game, you only require 1 attachment to just get yourself your last couple of prize cards. So Radiant Charizard is such a powerful 1-price Pokemon, and that's why I've put it above Radiant Greninja, because we've seen it in a whole lot of decks as one of the strongest 1-price attackers in the game. Moving forward, now we're going to the top 3, and these are actually the top 3. There's no debate about it. Their impact was so huge. Palkia VSTAR. Ever since this card came to the scene, people were despising it. It's the Palkia format, it's the Palkia format. But the cool thing is with Palkia, you could actually just counter against it. You'll be playing lightning attackers. We've played all Regigigas to just slap Palkia in the face. We've played some Vikavolt here and there to just item block while hitting for weakness. So the cool thing is that Palkia was just so strong because Inteleon engine was not rotated. So there was of course plans to rotate the entire D block of Sword and Shield, but they didn't commence to it, and that's why we got the most consistent best deck in the format with Palkia and Inteleon. If Palkia and Inteleon sets up on the first turn, there was not stopping it. You had shady dealings for everything. You want the Roxanne Pat, you got it. You want to have your Melanie, you want to have Cross Switch. There were so many ways you could be piloting the Palkia list, and very skillful players did really well throughout the year 2022 with Palkia. And at the World Championships, there was a Palkia barrage. The only decks that could really stop it was Mewtwo V Union Control that Sander Wojcik put on the map, and of course the Regi deck. But nobody heard about the Regi deck being that successful before Worlds, so after Worlds we did see a huge increase in the Regi play, and Regi has a favorable Palkia matchup. Let me say that again. I've slapped a lot of Palkias throughout my career, and I can say that that was the only way that could stop Palkia in its tracks, because Palkia actually had a great Mew matchup as well, so just because of the Radiant Greninja snipes and all that. So yeah, Palkia, so dominant force, such a dominant force. It's not that popular anymore, but it still belongs here on the number 3 spot here on the most impactful cards from 2022. Now, number 2. Can you guess it? It is Arceus VSTAR. Wow, when this card actually hit the scene, people went nuts. It was literally like, oh, do you have a binder? May I drop it, please? Poof. Oh, what is this? Is that a Manaphy V Max flying out of your binder? Well, now I have a new deck. So it was pretty much binder drop Arceus. Arceus was splashable with everything. We had Trinity Nova, being able to accelerate energies to your favorite V Max Pokemon. You could be playing Arceus by itself with Inteleon, so you can chair and scare loop that until infinity with some Palpats here and there. You had the Star Burst to get any 2 cards from the deck, so consistency was there. And Arceus VSTAR with a big charm, and the Inteleon Angelic Charon Scare was at one point the best, if not, one of the best, if not the best deck in the format. And then, of course, other decks power crept it a little bit, but Arceus, I played Arceus this season a lot as well, but then with Beedrill And yeah, it was so cool to just get out the single strike mustard, because with Starbirth you can get out Ultra Ball, thin out your hands, play single strike mustard, and boom, you can create Beedrills out of nowhere. And let me tell you this, at EOIC there was a lot of ways you can slap opponents with a Beedrill. Beedrill can KO Mew VMAX with a special energy, you can KO opposing Arceus with a special energy, you can do so much with a Beedrill. It was just so fantastic. I played Arceus, Beedrill, and Urshifu all combined in one deck, so I think, yeah, almost our entire squad played that, to be honest. So Arceus, so great. You can be playing anything with it. I also love the fact with Malamar, VMAX, and Roxanne, that was also a very deadly combo, because with the Max Jammer, that was cool. We see even like Adam Hawkins at Worlds, for example, playing Arceus with Aggron VMAX. Anything was possible with Arceus, to be honest, and that's why it's belonging here on the number 2 spot. It almost won all the tournaments over in North America, so if that is not a statement of how strong a card is, I don't know what will. So even to combat like the Palkia deck that we've talked about recently, is of course he had the Flying Pikachu as a partner to, of course, hit for weakness. So there was so many great things about Arceus. Anything that came into the format. Oh, I want to have anti-special energy hate. You have, of course, the Beedrill. Oh, I want to splash it out with a lightning Pokemon. We have Flying Pikachu. There was even, like, with Arceus, nothing you could go wrong. You had like even Arceus with the Duraludon, which is now even like a staple as like probably the most successful Duraludon. Arceus is still the most successful Arceus build to date for now, like in this specific Silver Tempest format, because all other Arceus builds are like less good, to be honest. So yeah, Arceus is still around. It's still doing its thing ever since we got it with Brilliant Stars, and it's not planning on going anywhere. Now, number 1, can you guess it? Yeah, I made a video about it already, about explaining how broken it is. It is Lugia VSTAR. During its short lifespan, it already obliterated all the charge. All the top players played this at one point. There was, of course, a Lugia VSTAR unstoppable card. You have, of course, Dunsparce to protect your lightning weakness. You have Manaphy to protect your bench. You have Summoning Star summoning 2 Archeops at the same time. So pretty much Lugia's, getting out Archeopses, and the Archeops will be able to accelerate 2 energies from your deck, 2 special energies from your deck instantly, and you can do that for every Archeops in play. So pretty much 4 additional accelerations, 4 energies happening during your turn. That's like bonkers. I know it's bonkers. You can even set up amazing rare Yveltal, not an issue. That Radiant Charizard we just talked about, don't even wait until the opponent takes prize cards. You can instantly accelerate it on turn 2, even just slapping crazy amounts of damage. Tempest Dive is also nice to just get rid of a stadium card that is bugging you, for instance like a Temple of Sinnoh. There is ways you can play Lugia with like other attackers. There's just so much, like Stoutland. Who even knew Stoutland was a card before Lugia hit the scene, right? Stoutland was able to double dip Fangs onto Comfeys to take additional prize cards, and of course with the help of the powerful Colress energies, Lugia just went supreme. The best deck in format still. There's not a lot of ways you can counter it. People tried to paralyze it, but then Lugia was one step ahead with Espeon VMAX or maybe some Birdkeeper Eldegoss loops. Yeah. What do you do? This is the best deck in format, and if you are not respecting Lugia, you're gonna be sorry, because this is just so strong. And yeah, until we hit rotation, be sure to look at the horizon, because at every single tournament, you're gonna be seeing a whole heap of Lugia. It's strong, it's consistent, and it does the job taking prize cards, whether it is with multiple prize KOs, with of course amazing rare Raikou, or double dip Fangs with the Stoutland V. This card just literally has it all, and just because of the crazy amount of special energies in our current format. So yeah, this is my top 10 of the best cards that we got in 2022. So this was kind of a ride, right? We got like all the best decks right now, currently. If we take a look at the best decks in the format, the only deck in the top 5, I would say, that has not been released this year was Mew VMAX, and Mew VMAX was actually just a couple of months before we head into 2022 with the Fusion Strike set. So if we can see, Lugia Archeops released this year, Lost Zone boxes released this year, including Giratina. The Regi deck released this year, Arceus deck released this year. So all the best decks in the format were released this year. If that is not an understatement of like how the power creep is still going around, I don't know what is, but I wonder how the EX Pokemon will do in 2023. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of the run through of the best Pokemon TCG cards that we got in 2022. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to let me know by slapping the hell out of that like button with a Tempest Dive. it is super effective, and it always helps out the channel tremendously. Super grateful if you would do so. So yeah, with that being said, let me know what your top 10 best cards were in the comments below. And also go check out our sponsors, PokemonStore.com, the best place for TCGO code cards. You can use the coupon code ZapDogsTCG for 5% off. They also work on TCG Live, so you can get codes for TCG Live or TCG Online. Doesn't matter. It is the best place with instant email delivery. Go check out yourplaymat.com if you want to create your own custom playmat. They also ship worldwide, and you can get 10% off by clicking the link down below. So get that fantastic playmat you've always dreamed of as a New Year's celebration for yourself. There's also Dragon Shield, which is of course the best brand to protect your cards. Get sleeves, binders, and deck boxes today, and you can use the links down below. And last but not least, cardmarket.com for only European players, by the way. European side where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. I personally use it every single day. Easy access to the cards you need to start playing competitively. So yeah, you should do it as well and use the referral name ZapDogsTCG. With that being said, have a fantastic new year, and I will see you guys in 2023. Yeah, it has been a blast. I want to thank every single one of you guys that watched any of my videos this year. You guys are awesome. Signing out. Peace.